What is second law of motion? Let's understand this with the help of an example. There is a car with a dead battery. Dead battery means initial velocity u is 0. Car is not moving, the battery is dead. Initial velocity is 0. And to start this car, speed of 1 meter per second is required to start the engine. How much speed is required? Let's say speed of 1 meter per second is required to start the engine. So final velocity would be 1 meter per second in this particular case. Now how we can start this car? How we can bring it to the speed of 1 meter per second? How we can start the engine? Let's say one or two persons come and they suddenly push the car. That means they are applying the force. So it hardly starts initially. It doesn't start. But when these two persons continuously apply this force for some time, they are applying the force, they are pushing this car continuously for some time, then after some time, the car may attain the speed of 1 meter per second and the engine gets starts. So we can say that to change the momentum of the car from 0 to some value. Momentum means mass into velocity. Here velocity is this 0 and we multiply it with mass, we will get momentum. So initially the momentum is 0. To change this momentum to some value, force is continuously applied. Continuously applied means it is consuming some time also. That means we are talking about force which is applied for some time. So now we can relate the quantity momentum, force and time. We are about to obtain a beautiful relationship of force, time and momentum. Here initially the momentum was 0 and after some time, after application of some force, we have attained some momentum here, mass into velocity. We have got some value of momentum after starting the engine. So now we can state the second law of motion. Law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. Here what we had discussed, that we are going to obtain a relationship of force, time and momentum in second law of motion. So how second law of motion is relating these three quantities? How it is relating? You can see here the rate of means whenever we take rate of something, we divide it by time. Change of momentum is final minus initial momentum and we are talking about its rate, so we will divide it by time, is directly proportional, is proportional to the applied unbalanced force. Here we will write force in the direction of force. We are talking about unbalanced force because the car has moved. Only the unbalanced force can bring a movement in the object. Here the car has moved, its engine has started. So we are talking about applied unbalanced force. If the force would be balanced, the car would have not moved at all. Here the car has moved, that means we are talking about unbalanced force. So can you see the relationship here? Force is equal to final minus initial momentum, that is the change of momentum, and we are talking about rate of change, so we have divided this quantity by time, is proportional to the applied unbalanced force. Here we have written force. So this is the second law of motion which we have explained on the basis of this example of car with a dead battery. Let's write the statement clearly. The second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. This is our statement of second law of motion. So dear students, I hope you have understood the concept of how to bring momentum in a car with a dead battery, and on the basis of that we have explained second law of motion. So if you have any query regarding that, you can mention it in the comment box.